If you look at the archaeological textbooks of, say, 10 years ago, they present a model of a Bering land bridge, and people come over about 13,000 years ago and give rise to the people that we identify as American Indians or Native Americans today and populate North, Central, and South America. That model is incomplete. It's far more complicated. We have people coming thousands of years earlier than we thought. They're coming from different locations than we had known about. They're coming by different modes of transportation. They're coming from boats. They're not going necessarily only across the Bering land bridge. The Kennewick skeleton was one that had eroded out of the banks of the Columbia River. And this led to a major confrontation in terms of a scientist's desire and request to study these remains versus a Native American viewpoint of local tribes that these remains should be taken and buried in a secret location without study. They felt that this had to be one of their ancestors. It did not matter how ancient these remains were. It was apparent that the Corps of Engineers was going to transfer the remains without allowing scientific study.
Doug and 8 other scientists went to court to block the transfer by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. In February 2004, after almost 9 years, the court ruled that there was no proof of cultural ties to any Native American tribes.
The result of that is the scientists now have been given access to the skeleton.
The subsequent study of Kennewick Man by Doug and other scientists has dramatically changed our understanding of early human migration patterns.
Kennewick Man dates to about 9,300 calendar years ago, and he's not one of the first people in the New World. People got into the New World from different locations in Asia than what we had formerly imagined. We had always before thought that people were coming from Northeast Asia, and they had very distinctive facial features. He has a different set of facial features, a very different shape of skull, and it's more like we find in the very ancient ancestral people of Japan. Kennewick is one of those rare discoveries that comes along once in a lifetime. No one went out looking for him. He washed out of a bank, and the ability to tell his story, that's his legacy. That's his legacy to us today, and it is a very different picture than what anyone alive today could begin to tell you or imagine about what life was like 9,000 years ago.